I said
in the middle of it.
About October. Okay. And Pep die or run a president and some in DBI so.
Okay, exactly to I have in my time. And based on what you have just told us and the impeccable analysis, yeah, why Kovi
legend
or catcher said Ten Hag over to club and Pep Ejumo Mayo England. No,
me Patrick Cancer.
Is that not the conclusion?
The analyst Debbie.
What say Ubiate Meba? We have projects now. Sir, you have project life cycle. You look at indicators. We bear no winning after 50 matches, 23. After of course there are other variables, but yeah, found there no.
Variables being apart from.
Oh, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things. No. There are a lot of.
What are the things?
There are a lot of.
Because even for Pep, he inherited a winning.
So you are admitting. You are even admitting.
Meanwhile, this man inherited a safe place.
As some accounts says that you are admitting that there are variables.
But variables.
So you admit that there are
variables.
That's
go against me.
Some make hasn't be any. But what you
are variables.
Let me give you more. Let me give you more. There are a lot of things. So open the project of any football club. There are important factors like the age of those players, very important. So be a team. That's only average age of 2021. My cultures and the are brighter than a team that averages 32 years. So there be some of the argument about and I hear once you have brought it, you be want some
my limited
say limiting to this trade, then you are telling us to say and nema Ten Hag ye ogusu a obe ye obebo no modern asene crop and Pep
that be me the make can say based on what based on what Ten Hag is doing. I just say the future looks bright for Manchester United.
That is what I'm saying.
And the future looks bright for Manchester United. Will be that be said
no. The future is bright. Now power I've
not compared to
you too quite. You call 50 kilometers. And now you call 50 minutes. No be I cover 35 kilometers. Obi so they no cover 23. Obi there 29. What are you insinuating? Are you not telling us there's a likelihood that we will be dredge or more market? That's what you are telling us.
The likelihood is that this manager will pick United from where they are now to a better position. That is the likelihood.
No, say a better position.
I'm not doing comparison here. It means consistent performance in the top four. It means likely to win the league once again.
Then in that case, Minya Zakito. And you're not in here say obey comparison. You could have told us say after 15 matches, no, the year with Ten Hag, no, a chess or bell lifting Manchester United. But the moment you do this comparison, catches you and compare
other teams.
That's what you are telling us.
The comparison
you could have told us after 15 matches, the signs are very good for Ten Hag because why would it 35? And it say and they the Manchester United project but you didn't do that. And now other coaches are only exceptional
because they are the standard.
You know why you didn't bring Arteta? Because on your standard.
No, because
so you brought
in the first 15. No. The fact is that
23.
Ten Hag after 50
now FA Cup.
And do 23 crab.
FA Cup. Nanke no so a sign. And you know. So compare with Zakito, you are telling us to say that's why you brought them. In the long run.
No, in the long run. The oil say in the long run, he's taking Manchester United from where they are now.
And they will be better than these guys.
And so the moment he wins, it is that it's all ideas. Before you can win, you have to be better than them.
So Zakito, what say Ten Hag, on baby, we will do no, you're better than them.
Yes, the signs are very clear. So now the we are talking about Man City as a PNG as
you made a statement that Pep on Champions League.
There be your analysis about the 50 games.
Say what 2 now
okay.
Manchester United coaches in an on the defense.
Post
What to Vanguard, what to David Moyes.
Same way, me my boss Wajika.
National TV.
Yeah, me make a boss Wajika.
That's all true.
Post Ferguson era. He's the best in terms of win percentage after the 50th game. The win percentage is 70%.
And so they will be into no.
When you compare Mourinho, a 10 difference. So Luis Van Gaal, it's the science, actually say, baby at the height, any United now, the future is very bright.
Better than.
Especially when in the summer, say take over 18 bar. Now Onya the kind of players that he wants to beef up.
Now players baby we not saying here.
Now
player
your best coach Pep Guardiola. Mpacho coach Pep Guardiola. No Gabriel Jesus.
When I told you about the variables,
every day he adds.
Time I make a variable. One of them.
Club on signing.
One of them is expenditure. But why am I you free? What I say analysis near there. Then at the end of the winning 35 matches, that's of essence. Or spend this saying
the budget size.
Exactly. Pep Guardiola spend this saying we spend I make I say what my argument no what my question
maybe why this one cannot come in. You limit yourself to only this summer. But not forgetting that squad now Pep Guardiola put around. And a billion squad already. So he has spent already on a very good squad.
50 games.
And he said
it's not about 50 games.
Say no one surplus now or more.
No, me.
And a squad already.
Is that discussion about 50 games?
Yes, 50 games.
It's not about 50.
50 games.
If it's about 50, catch us. I dare back what consider so say no money now spend it. And no into me family.
No, spend the total squad as a man. And just you can't limit only this transfer window.
You
look at the squad.
I'm not talking about 50 games.
By the time you play 50 games, you know what's
by the time or so 50 games, that's the question I'm asking. And not bet me the boom.
By 50 games, no such is the Pep Guardiola squad. No, a squad of 50 games, no, the boy, you know.
Zach into okay, you know, I said there's Zach person can you answer all factors put together, and I just
there be only all factors. All factors. That's what I said. Only all factors. They have the expenditure back. You didn't get can be. And I said the expenditure, you can't take away Pep Guardiola because Sa team now Pep at the ball 50 games you know. It was a billion squad. So you remember because a squad and that's now you for the new owners were there. Are you forgetting the amount of money they used to buy Aguero and Co.
No, can you show yourself in the phone? Let me try and explain. So now, let's say Pep, no, Ten Hag, all these 50 games.
No, I'm introducing you answer. But good chum.
Backing vocalist, I said,
oh no, he's our guest. It was a man go for who say. Because if you say I'm a message and messenger, then they will know that you're Casano and the authority no in the game. It's the way they're saying. Good to me, he's a coach. A coach. I would name the pa recognized in the UK. Na men kakase. Zemkasa me call you ka. Omo mami timiti na obi ekwaku. Unza mi ti stadium bi e ball. Na me je fans bi akwaku na dem call me ntimi nko.
Hakwa ekromo e
free. Me call baby me nya na e kan.
Ati Osha Brighton in Liverpool no na.
Ona dem call Ona dem wurawura nko tra asoro. Ba bia me call bia yo no anya ono ami ntimi nko. Enti na wa best friend no kasa. O se man grofo hu nipa o kasa. Ono one West Ham ya ye kan. Ni nuanom ne players ngwan guo
Antonio
yeah omo so ati ase nti ono be jana nga Antonio o ma cha Arsenal but end the embassy
so the player ke Arsenal and don't me
in regards to the Nazakito can say na Pep a team no had so much quality in there no when the Pep buy and he was really backed. Your man is car, making sure say. I mean, look at Walker for 50 million at that time, and Walker was Man City for about 5-6 years now. If for someone to go and buy a right back for 50 million, no, clearly it shows say now the squad near really strong. So now, say Zakito maybe me narrow search name to say okay 1 year and a first year, and I said yes 2 years now. Ten Hag buy and I said 1.5 years now. Abana, Scotty was spending. I heard 1.5 years of. First time you know
I tell you the first season
first season
and you okay
and club on so by until time and buy club on so by no 20 minutes sign
October, yeah.
It is possible say could me sign other players like Biana could be to me do baby but that withstanding no I mean the Ten Hag by everyone sees it straight away by all means be see but that also comes from the fact that United were really punching underweight. It's or by the owners had to back him. They had to make sure someone back in as much as possible to try and get the glory days back again. And clearly that could also be a possibility of the all kind of, but I do not agree with him entirely. Say or buy and Nuntin why are they change all these other managers? But I think the time will tell. And especially in the Premier League.
Say based on 50 games, my limiting to 50 games.
First season, tactically people don't know you so much. But second season is where people
really
get to know you and see how.
It is
at Major League now. Then I think that he should be more
next year. Arteta saw an overall win percentage of 59.5 in his first 100 games. 50 wins. Also draw, but also go for the I say analyst. Analyze it by sentimental. Yeah, go guys here, but
a bill with Mika, Matic and Cambo do can over and over and over. When you see me a pet, a Delaliatasi Oka. When you see an amote.
Wargos has played 30 Premier League games and have scored 2 goals in his career.
Entire career?
Premier League, you know. But Premier League, you know. We about 30. Say you move Premier League, we about 30, we 2 goals. So that's the kind of striker we are talking about here.
15 games per goal.
Yeah. About 15 matches, you watch one. 10 years old, assist provider. Like young corner, Yamrana, you never feel him.
A very good weekend. Senegal City against Leicester. So when him the recent year City against Leicester, any games that almost struggle, and the baby City namano. They know say this is a game that they can't afford to drop points. Leicester I changes managerial wise. Dean Smith, me feel say baby I no more do no like the Crystal Palace way. Say Udu stage way.
Alvarez has won the World Cup. So what is Zakito talking about here?
Let's have World Cup. They say one also.
Nadia say now okay.
Now say the standard. The players have World Cup.
Inter achievement. You kept. I said asking what then why?
Yeah, in terms of goals.
And no be say
as at now.
Wait your World Cup winner. You are saying say Blaise Baby Nazi World Cup.
World have scored more goals than Alvarez.
Or say why you not asking what they have done? In the Premier League, Omunyina buy no. We are about 30, watch it 2. Alvarez I think has scored about 7, 8 or 9 goals. Now you buy. In the Premier League we 2 no. You call World Cup so was I go 2 no. Adi World Cup. Wa go 2 na the World Cup. What say World Cup nipa bebre na adi.
Na say bebre na adi. Bebre na adi World Cup.
Na dia na nipa bebre na aye.
We go eti ene I'm official Leicester made appointment of Dean Smith. I have a problem with it. Okay, this stage now you going for like Obia like the.
No, they want a coach who my save you.
Say American because
and then plan next season.
Yes, because this made the kind of coach that can save them. You look at Crystal Palace and we are
but it's not bad though.
No, just say Minkaso bad.
When you have very good season with the Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa.
Then at a point.
Aston Villa no or struggle ya to. Ne last but 1 season na eko ye then season dey palm no he came down and he only a track record who say this season you need experience and it's like Crystal Palace fast and I'm go for the experience Royal Sembai because he at this stage he's a master of saving clubs or the experience but I go for these mates about this stage and then the backroom staff now because John Terry Muna assisting these are guys that at that stage, you know, from that they don't have the experience. And against City at the Etihad, Mr. Tua knows one of those days that City will have a win. Though Leicester will try to, because of Ibi Modano, try to frustrate Man City. But City at the Etihad when they are in the element, especially when they have a 3-goal advantage against Bayern. So first game look quite close, and they need to do something extraordinary at Allianz Arena. But 3-0 say now attention in Premier League. It's in there. Me also walk away say me walk rest because of he knows.
God rest here say they want rest. Oh my do. Rest is no cry chain.
It's in there. I think City will be comfortable. And Arsenal and West Ham season no struggling in the Premier League, but Muko Europa they are very comfortable. We say this year London derby, them say Arsenal afano very easy. All the London class nobody has able to go to with Arsenal. Arsenal virtually whipped all the landing.
Other class.
So,
Arsenal lose 4 games. No entire season.
And took us other side now because only United, but only United. No, wash on. How to put them question? City.
How to the referee in account.
Different.
Martinelli go no.
So, based on Arsenal form against the London clubs, I think almost a year pa. West Ham, I shall see because almost no more injury problems pa. But I'm saying now almost center backs, no. I shall say recover. Come on, say Zuma have recovered. Aguerd playing very well. It's now Omanya like their first choice center backs now available to play. But come on, that's now I want there no. They to Edim Momo or the London Stadium.
United no winnable.
United go Forest, Nottingham Forest. They're struggling Nottingham Forest. And easy, but United, I know say a lot of quality to win this
and
game.
And we see Maguire coming back.
Oh, say sure. One thing about Ten Hag, to be a kind of Montias, no. Ten Hag, Lucio Rodin was tobacco. Don't forget, and because of about left-footed players playing at the left side of the centre back, no. So on a center back. That one Shaw is available, especially to play with either Maguire or Shaw with Lindelof.
That's impacting all this. Is Maguire better Lindelof? Shaw Maguire, bad.
Or you're so obsessed with a left-footed player that
Maguire
the left centre back. And then you Lucio never born.
Shaw Maguire, Malaysia
left back.
So 2 goals entering again. Malaysia and Maguire. We bring coach.
Oh, fine, sir. Coach, about discussions, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about pep run in, baby.
Yeah.
They'll be a bit in their man on the running of Pep Guardiola in Manchester City at this stage. We have more share legend. Baby, a City a drew because a drew baby the importance of squad size a bem. Legends won't be a drew. City, since they're in the FA Cup, they're in the Champions League, they're in the Premier League. Oh, in the other competitions we are. When you say what the Grand Treble, and your treble be a Grand.
Carabao,
no, Carabao, GEF, or the FA Cup, Europa conference, and not our trainer. It doesn't give you the prestigious treble now. Or more cherish Europe, the Champions League, a league now, Wobo, and FA Cup.
To my use, some is with my treble.
And I'm saying, or Jenna said, there be at the moment. Obeti na the treble, but the Grand FA Cup. The demona Europa no more. And I'm because it's Remuka Crown, Chimune woman, and say, what just our trainer? Nasa
and no invent treble.
A treble and in Dimu and yet that grand
by his treble
where adored where cherished the Champions League, the league, the FA Cup now Obono. And when I say Manchester City, Jenna. Now, any sign of fatigue because of the squad size of Manchester City? Who say who's the team in Abre? Because when we are line up in Nivi, that's all Coco Bench, that's a food in Cajon, now Riyad Mahrez in Cajon. In Bajwati as you. Na the quality of more nasa Calvin Phillips baby, like they are not part of the team or Montenegro. Eti drew the running na Pep Guardiola why a team because of squad didn't kitano no. And legend, the last 5 games no. Pep Guardiola team no. Actually 24 goals the last 5 games. We're winning the last 9 games in all competitions and ne obo against Leicester City no winning 10 in 10. Or win it 10 in 10 in all competitions. This is the run-in of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. And baby, we legend. And I'm making money. Bayern Munich no. And I'm back and we say Pep ya convince me say at this point in time why you ready at all levels. I feel why you convince me ye pa
scientific coach.
Why? Because at the moment Pep Esiano Mabebre say Champions League you don't only play the Champions League with an attack, but you need a solid defensive network to play in the Champions League. And it's also against Bayern Munich, they were defending very well against Bayern Munich. Miss any team that plays against Munich, no better many clean sheet with the way they defended against Munich. No, set team aye juma pa. And then as we set up now, you see John Stones. Say City kita ball now he's a midfielder. Without the ball, John Stones is part of the defense. So when the team it's difficult for you to penetrate. And he is improving. And at the moment, some catch or mobile or many Chelsea. That was the last 2 years Champions League final. Now Michelle and lineup. Now Raheem Sterling lead the attack. Today, or bought with Haaland or Onyini Frimo, he would rather add up to Erling Haaland in Julian Alvarez when you're two center forwards in the game. And the team is so much fortified at this stage. It's really difficult. And Leicester and the best save Arsenal kakra.
Me will be save Arsenal.
At the moment in the teams are
Arsenal save
opponents on mobile against Arsenal. No City will interest. And Bajot has here. Opponents are I say opponents are baby Ejana say opponents on money Arsenal Manchester City will interest because a slave for Arsenal it goes to the advantage of Manchester City. City so boba Arsenal for so interest because a slave for Man City Arsenal so any advantage and at this stage legend yanko for 3-1 or 4-1 victory for team friends say Man City even though I always hope say City for the best leponanka Arsenal for me I walk over tima ne story na ayareho this season na coach senka be boa me ayesa Chelsea problem na areho pa
we be ban what kind of questions
Chelsea Football Club problem on them this season areho the last 21 games Chelsea are winning 4 in all competitions. The last 21 games Chelsea are winning 4 when Abramovich Chelsea
a striking problem, so
a striking problem.
Straight away, is Chelsea. What their philosophy is like in here. They have good midfielders that will create, but at the same time, they need strikers that not so much so better more goals. But when he has striker most of the time, better ball not to our midfielders not better goals. So now, Kai Havertz, he's not someone or better ball not to also be magic. Joao Flex for me and he's a number 10. So now, if say. So Chelsea will Lukaku. I would rather have brought Lukaku back throughout from January, for at least a year, and maybe build up on it to buy, a better striker. But because we show match on Everton, Namo Stadium, and you create all these chances, but 0.7, and he drew on the ball doesn't stick. So what I mean by the ball doesn't stick, and it's a ball you drew anymore, and they say a ball also. It will strike or better to more wingers and then number 10s, I bet join in on the attack.
That's a Wergos type now.
Yeah.
With my hold on play.
Yes.
Okay.
so legend situation.
I've never about with a cappella.
So Chelsea situation The last 8 Premiership games, only 2 wins. The last 4 games in a row, Chelsea and single goal. Legend Mpacho on Chelsea situation. The last 4 games, or more record even a single goal. And you and send a coach some accounts some in why you have felt some more discussion with Hasa. The coach also who as a number 10.
He's a good player.
It's not a can of fear Hasa. Some players no mugu chase any money problem na any one go. And it's all share not Thomas Tuchel. Not Thomas Tuchel baby. Was starting season who said nature on the back line also a year juma ho. Nti no chewe no kofa Koulibaly no Mojama Rudiger okaso renew. Nti no ye ho hwe enyi no kofa Koulibaly e be replace Rudiger. Ana odi Kukurela e be kan ho. Nti na oye kire o mo be wie transfer windows no.
Osa de bibiri buy.
Last minute no ana kofa Uber. My understanding and say
e kire o kofa boy no Leicester no so buy.
For Fana. Nti no oye kire ho adwuma
on the bapa. Nti osa de another guy be Medachili or the Abapa.
Nti oye kire ho adwuma no. The idea was that going forward and I think na no ba be hwe na attack nti umbe close to transfer windows no. And odi Uber e buy. And a Chelsea nya another window in the winter. No mkofa Modric. and Madua Kimo Edomo buy. And these were not players that no beating and solve Chelsea problems in their mom. Send a coach Chicano. Chelsea are always in the game in the method play. They are always in the game, especially with the arrival of Kante. They don't look vulnerable in method. Not at all. Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, any Kante. These are three central midfielders are only good.
Enzo started happening.
But say open so many year. Born again, mama, yibina coach enya yibina me fancy. Joao Felix, omoko Madrid no, Bernabeu no. Let me catch you say first opportunity na ba no dey hwade we coach. So we game na Madrid ne Chelsea wo Bernabeu. First opportunity ba game it was a true ball in a bottle ni mo. Legend the shown on the screen no. You see say Joao Felix LED defender no. Unso LED defender no. Okay. A proper center forward. And they no obey. Either say once a baby Ato Aruna Ato no. The left into or run it to the left side of the Aruna. What it means is that obe force player na mana committee either a foul and also obe jana manako. So committee foul a record. Well last defender. Minim say legend of here. So o committee foul ne pe Militao ne edge record efrim. But when I give my second round no, na sure baby or the ball ne to. So on my second round now or the ball ne to the right side.
To try and cut back on there.
Cut back. And on my Militao ekovai. On your proper center forward. Unis hard no.
No, but the first picture never saw baby ma. What happens is the first picture no saw what's going to ma. No, the chances of Sobeshini really slim because you're closing the angles now.
Yes.
But so the keeper no could see a keeper would have to shift. Maybe about 2 yards away. Until the keeper no shift here, nice Mahani in Abeda.
Okay.
It will be the placement the better. It for me, I think that is the right.
And the Kofi can is an option.
Yes.
Especially when you
this is the ball. This is the ball.
So trust so much in your speed that he's not But people have also scored from that position.
Yeah. Yeah, would never call her. Or the ball no say na keep on back of first pool. So they play the ball at the second one after question. But how they
there is a cross on any.
Kofi don't see your point.
You also have especially ball left. So the ball will come to your favorite foot.
Yeah.
It's in your options. And the problem is the speed.
On my military.
Americano.
On my military space, you know.
Martinelli type of goal. Easy.
Oba left a legend. Two options. So one. A normal you know either say military be foul no. Aje record the film. And also obey Jana Manako. No akwa shot on target. Two. Legend Chelsea situation I tell this particular season no. It doesn't look too good and they are playing against Brighton. Coach, I think say you know Brighton so well. Omobo against Mark Allister and West Casido in Medford. It's not a weak Medford.
Very strong.
Let me tell my nephew get some early attacking at their more.
Very strong.
And Chelsea a game to play and every Chelsea a crucial game to play. And at the moment, I can say, only 17 points behind the top 4. 17 points behind the top 4. Chelsea position. Legend. Okay. You're 2-2 for Chelsea. At the moment, there, all Chelsea, 2-2 or 1-1 drawn game. For on Stamford Bridge.
Brighton for no, if they indeed want to play.
Yeah.
As a ball, you almost some because some more Oyerepa.
Last week also wait for the match. PA Referees Association.
Legend. Arsenal against West Ham United. Our London Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
And that makes it quite difficult.
Very, very difficult.
So Osha Arsenal first channel against West Ham United. Team my friend is Man City there no comparatively a cheaper than Arsenal game. That is how I see it. City had against Leicester. Cheaper than Arsenal playing against West Ham United at Olympic Stadium. Because of Bebiomo Sada.
You have an experienced coach.
Exactly, Bebiomo Dano. Legend, the points gap between Omo and Nottingham that 18th. 3 points per. 3 points between Omo and Nottingham Forest now that 18th. No.
Zoo.
So say West Ham United now Arsenal Baba be show mo pay. Now so Omo do Martina mas points. You be West Ham United relegation.
West Ham
by the close of the day. And no money is extremely difficult, but Arsenal I go through some tests this particular season. Most of it Omunya right. Most of the tests in Arsenal come this particular season. Omunya right. Nana omo the statistics premiership fund statistics be babe so. Science na Zakito kan ho asem no. and no being as sometimes I am very patient with the Mikel Arteta. So when I give me a statistics, Arsenal Jones testing on this particular season in the Premier League. And to try to see goes by players age 21 and under since 2021-22 season. 21 years or under. And the Arsenal players no, match 55 goals in the Premier League. 21 years or under. So it has said 19.
Averagely is almost not what the youngest team.
Yes. And Arsenal know what the youngest team. So you could clearly see a project. Plan. This is a project under Mikel Arteta. And or yet to perfection. And now Arabia make the mentality of South players no go anymore.
Next season.
I guess Liverpool there. Arabia and Bekano I say ni game management and one hwini. Ni game management and one hwini. 2-2 no. And one manage game ni.
Sir.
Who's that? I then the pro so legend Maria.
Anfield.
Anfield no.
Who's that manage game?
Who's that? Oh, that's Anfield this season there. Liverpool. Liverpool this season. Liverpool this season, you know. What's that? I
don't know because Ten Hag managing it. Now 7-0 now. And Ten Hag record breaker. 35 win after 51 managing it.
What's that be kind of fiasco? What's that number 20 days that get to a new 7-0 and for a new this current Liverpool side. So I heard that game now.
So we that be all the okwa show why am fan cast mo.
7-0 the record.
Anentia.
Uno people born just 7-0.
Anfield the show Anfield
7-0.
Na ono de bibia tumi si.
7-0. Zakto na okaza say. Hello.
Now me they lost 3 and came and beat Barca 4 there. And they said o ma
7 years
the history of over there Anfield the show there show.
Legend. Arsenal be near best slim win. Arsenal be near a very slim win. A be 2-1 for 8 my friends Arsenal, but that is a very difficult game. Yenyama Syria ne there. Teams ni nyina e be try say Omobebo unso mu nyina ebo Saturday because of Champions League. Milan ebo against Bologna. Since Milan can try to get that 3 points into Mombe.
Fiorentina so Saturday.
Fiorentina be Fiorentina embo and Ombebo Sunday. Juve ne Fiorentina bebo nyambo china because yen bebo Europa ne conference. Yen bebo
Europa and them say Juve favorite.
Baby jina ne dey say Makacho say meton bossa discuss Juve. Ebreba me discuss Juve. No ma kira why Juventus.
Allegri di ada kakra.
Me dey way am.
Go Jakwaba. Yeah. Na boko dey no see ase.
Pasha Mahuna.
Okay.
Oh, team dia no dem.
So akọ dey James o. Fine.
Wrong impression.
So men's so.
Number 7 so. Me Zanda can be some kabi.
Okay, kind.
17 dia. But for information, I spoke minimum of as long before meeting. In fact, what direction or send a year na unyana. You know, frame me, I'm afraid born again so when or making sure so be facilitating coming to the studio.
Oh, yeah, confirm that.
Just I'm telling them, me aware of the coming here.
So just a routine about. Do confirm what I'm got to mean. No. What that you never pong? What was that bass as a bit? Let's just like to come on.
That's why you know. Send you
Now me intimate Masami. So in your location, Joe Frey back, and also on born again Akasa.
Okay. Now who's that there on born again?
Good. My main issues are discussing the embassy. I'm so aware to say Arsenal. Echo the stadium that is Eastland Olympic Stadium there. And near my sanity, how the atmosphere and what you expect.
I mean, it's a London derby, and a London derby, regardless of maybe a team that and maybe the other team, no, away team, and so there be a big game, and especially, I mean, from Arsenal to East London, and also from Arsenal to West Ham there, about 10, 20, 15 minutes drive. It's not too far. It's in a clearly, it tells you it's a very big game.
Okay.
And maybe a West Ham and so that, and obviously Arsenal wanting to win the league now. I really feel it's a big game.
10, 15, 20 minutes. So the new area, Canada, US, yeah.
I really feel it will be a good game, and if Arsenal can stand this test, to be honest, because throughout the season, yes, Arsenal best slip, but test at the BN, the moment some try some pass. I feel that this is one of them. If say Ombetimi Akohakunya win party by all means, there's a really good game for them.
One of the stadium, England, was intimidating winning. Like to say, you saw Quanfield. How is the London Stadium?
And no, I don't know. So I say a call now because of track network around it. The fans are not so close as much as they want them to be. But compared to West Ham Old Stadium, then your bar, so around here, I don't know. But
we know where Chika
Krent. Yeah, and France and get as close as they want to get to the team. It's for me, Arsenal. If Arsenal could even get a draw there, by all means, it'd be a good draw for them. But I feel
there's no league no mujato for more, coachy. So many draw the league no more to man.
Where I feel that Arsenal could lose the league, would be from Arteta, not from the coaching side of things. But I really feel that psychologically, he's made his players feel that we have to win this league, and for me, that's a problem. Arsenal, if Arsenal got into the top 4 this season, it'll be because of Komaya at the end. But I quite to say, baby, you're doing it, by all means. I mean, as a coach, and you want to win it. But I really feel that Arteta aren't calculating near my year. I feel that would be the problem there for them to lose it. It won't be coaching, but it will be the fact that it's bench. I say every game we have to win, every tackle we have to go in, and that's where it has to be a problem.
What is our point?
Like, how does it become a problem? Because me when they say, "Sa mentality no they my boys no," I want to believe they are very far. Say we have to win every tackle, we have to win every ball, we have to win every game. And in the process, Arsenal are on top of the league. Just maybe, say Bianca Teta, my guys, they would have also realized in terms of mentality wise, and that would have probably affected their performance.
No, relax. Obia or how psychologically or affecting the players. So all relax here. What I mean by that is unrelax it in the change rooms, unrelax it in his tactics, unrelax it in the sense or encourage you to go and do more. But clearly you see him on the sideline. I quite to say, to be an ass or fighting for. That's how it tickles down to your players. Into one here, a game that you're okay to even get a point out of, you might end up losing a player on a red card. Not one here, no could lose a game. So all I'm saying is, what can be to do with City having a strong squad, a mature squad, and they can chop and change here and there. But Arsenal doesn't have a strong squad as City will. It is for man, that's where I really feel the problem is. It's for me, but then Arteta has to be careful how or encouraging the players need to go in on certain tackles. Showing the media, showing the cameras, we want to do this, because the certain players are, bench one more on the other side. It's as soon as they see a coach in a fight, they will always want to go and fight. It's one where it becomes especially younger players now.
No, sir, as my welcome to say, Arsenal, Liverpool now.
I don't know.
Oh, they say Arsenal working now.
I don't know.
Arsenal against Liverpool. After the same years, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. No, and I'm so good. Say you're mistaken. You're trying to but better bench no.
No, come on, go ahead.
No, better no Osu. He's crying because they are sharing the say you're quadrileg.
No, which is a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. All I'm saying is, they need to get the balance right. He's got to be careful because the moment players now almost say you lose the league, nanka league in the end you lose, you end up losing more. So I'm saying to them, yes, the mentality it has to be right. Oh, and sometimes maybe Arteta shouldn't fight for anything, or maybe the through training. I mean how passionate he is and everything. But when you're careful, the balance, getting that balance right, and it's a balance now. And a city will do at you, and yet team be a kick. And a city knows what's no mabo. We go Newcastle, on the Chelsea bubble. It's these 3 games are really important, so we making sure the players understand exactly what they need to do, not the tactical side of it, but the psychological side of it, making sure we don't lose the game, even at certain games you beat me 1.4.
Okay. That's done. Me busa about Ten Hag ne, and Zaki to the good hall 35 ne is the best coach post. Ferguson, what's your take on that?
In regards to that, I've never judged a manager, especially in their first season, because Premier League, so bar a different, will be any more tactically. It's in maybe 1 mile, people don't get used to it. And I've always said, so the second season, if you come in and win the league, now that's what shows you're a top coach. United in the past, bare 4, 5, or even 6 years now. on my team be we expected United to be up there, but they be honest, be really league be no more bread. And in regards to say Ten Hag by anyhow football and how strong he has been in the changing rooms making certain decisions with Ronaldo the end with near maybe a buy and ama GD be able say so to me Ronaldo cross out there and now why or then I'm a players and so respect on the amount for me no main judging is so much. So United to me do top 4 by all means they've done well because of my bread in in past years so me top 4 them. But then again the summer announcing a better and Niyama on beat my for next season. But tactically is one of the top coaches there.
Ten Hag.
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, say it didn't come on. Obi Sunday about Alvarez, no say 22 games, watch 7 goals.
Yes.
And I will so they near 30 Premier League game, watch 2.
Yeah.
So who is better in terms of the Premier League? Them say Etinye bi anyhow. Etinye bi. As they
you have limited it to their games in the Premier League and but in the Premier League some ball.
Even apart from that, chances created for him. And so I mean, over City they create a lot of chances. In Sobo City as a striker, and by all means you're bound to get a lot of goals.
Okay.
And that could also be a
Manu create
not as much as City creates.
No say
coach here. And then the coach a supporter, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Liverpool.
We Liverpool.
So Liverpool ni can correct.
Them so kasa some
He's a professional coach.
some can no credit.
They can't coach as some say Liverpool ni
can of course. Who come back on?
So as a
coach, okay, because if you finish with him now, because I have some questions. No, but see a movie out of the Premier League. I invited him for a particular discussion. Where a Juma Kessia coach Kwakuye almost system be after some certain some years, you know, the almost are planning for transition of players to the senior leagues and any idea no. And he has say why your the players no coach we are then omoye. Where we coach? Is there any plan for you? And I say team be a man mefawa. Is that your end? And I'm basically finding for say how is the system like more in the UK? Omoye anything because there are a lot of players. Because when your team Kasebia and Kobonti, his football career ends.
From amateur to professional.
Yes.
No one say Ubia Akrabia ball Ghana no ye dey your course and I ye honon so dey academy football. But then unse ye grassroots football ho. And na inti ye grassroots no Ghana no your course. Because unse inti your mo kan no from there. But so here your grassroots na e better than no grassroots. What I say? Because I had answer na bebo course no na unim bobo. But I hono betima akobo grassroots football abra unim bo bia bossa. But omo unim bo no na academy teams na pick from there. Because me start here as a coach say na me ejuma Fulham community. What Fulham community did ne say even say Dichem so anopa na omo de makoto one of the areas in Dichem so ne bia de me ya na say me training sessions among nkora no
nkora bia amra maybe
bia be on be training sessions no it's now acted like a scout it's in nkora no beba no the good ones in there no ma scout for me in a way do mudie go ho no mama academic coaches no who say akola bi wo hanom say maybe almost what
no follow up
yes but unsa ha no course no kra no answer na yobo course na ni mbopa o
so ma mobi
exactly ntie omo academy no na abe ye course no but unsa omobo coast league no hanoma na sese de o kan say team bia me form a omo wi a obu on ma se bi ona adwuma kro be any ade it comes back to education as well. It's academy teams no more landing in no so there are teachers that goes in there omoko train you if we be day release near say still now we school until the age of 16 but day release no will be like a Thursday for let's say Man City throughout the Thursday in the omunko school ombeko double sessions. So what they do is preparing you to become a first team player, because as a first team player sometimes more double sessions for my clubs so
my day release ni bi mo ebi ese na omunko school
Yeah, but teachers, it be English and math teachers and media teachers, but academy or more classrooms I'm a panel your free be activation where activation maybe no more jobs as an academy no more jobs in here say it be a first team training no on being here cones on being here footballs on being here poles more jobs in some be making sure some be fasani man in Nadia Kugu Park and so my first team no now on football boots and in the some papa who am the call secondly no na makoye mu training session no be from about 10 o'clock mukoye we are no possibly be a media person beba and or 2 media people beba no master to be a fake cameras as simonim no be some certain questions a media no e be busa bi wonum class MBS ni akase bia say woni see ya bia wona ato a wona ye pacho first Ricky na ato a kede na ka be so nti ade wo media nim ni e busa wo question no ni a record nti record we are near about you say asem ya kan no ha let's this ka kan say ka kan see na nke it they actually prepare you from the age of 14 15 16 to be able to speak to the media properly because it's very important to them. Yeah, and some of the other jobs and then so say you be ma wa analyze your game into no or app no phone so into be 2 games ago my boy yeah you were the best player, next game no you wasn't so good into what happened now what me analyze the game and then you come and speak to the coaches and tell them what you could have done better into the self-reflection of yourself and then you may be a so into the go
or party more my idea pal
yeah
we are party more free
me buy my question 4 course training sessions me share 2 year 1 year training on AstroTurf so and a 2 year training on Abosiamo. We tend to say pitches, and rightly so. Pitches no ever boy by all means, but the detail of our coaching, no, the course coaching is not there.
Detail
of the coaching. The fact say my session that doesn't mean say I'm emphasizing my we session will be recorded and also what session they require. What's the detail of what I said to some of the players whilst the session they is where coaching comes in. Into emphasize will be English teacher will be a same English teacher no another school. But English teacher really finds a way to get into the players' in their heads for them to understand the detail of the open. Yet the other teacher knows what the other school knows the Ochogu board knows one kind of be a baby. But they're both teachers. So all I'm saying is your syllabus as coaches no anyhow you deliver your sessions to the players and even the structure of our sessions no has to be looked at. Because and not affected the quality of your league. I can't hold on saying. Say pitches can't hold. I get it. But the certain players, and your crowd shouts, this is the Premier League. This should not be happening. Do you understand?
So, for instance, what then? Coach, no catch it. I want typical examples. Then we catch a call in a session, in an ordinary session.
Who say? The structure of the session is important. We'll start with the structure now. Training session, let's say it's lasted for an hour. First 20 minutes now is really important because first 20 minutes near the basics. So now, your session now. So what we do is warm ups the we could get defenders to warm up together. Midfielders warm up together, strikers warm up together. What I mean by that is there's basic techniques we'll learn throughout the warm up. And sana you have be a free be the leading session. To lead in so you work on units. And you work on individuals, defenders. You work on units as a back four. You work on units as a midfield. You work on units as a striker. You really become and that become the tactic. Because technically if the players are not good enough to execute certain tactics, it doesn't work. Meaning say if I make sense. When we get into the tactical side now, that's when we work on triggers. Sometimes I can't born as the ball is traveling to sometime and I Ricky Ube say. So there's so much happening as the ball is traveling. Everyone knows their jobs. But if Ricky is not able to sprint, I mean working on Ricky on his basics. That's it. Sprint here. The pattern doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Something is blocked along the team.
There are certain basics that say coaches now, and I always say that they always say you need equipment anyway. One football can do this. The detail of our coaching has to be way better, and of course that has to start from the GFA. That has to start from the regional football associations to make sure say
any resources, any scarcity,
no
other equipment that you may need.
No, the detail, like I said, the detail of coaching is teaching. And the detail of it is really important.
So how come you guys know na name? I
don't think there are resources. It's the coach educators now. Our more educated the coaches now possibly are not well educated enough. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that coaching, but I really see I'm sure one way in the next 10-20 years we will still not, the quality will even go more down. It will go way down. Because I always say there's so much talent. In terms of me starting making baby say, grassroots any momo course it's in a momo course way better than grassroots. Way better. So many talents in there. You think wow. But most of them the omunim dada idea and they need to be guided.
Okay.
Do you understand? He said when they are not guided properly, you lose the quality. Because at the age of 22, 23, there's no way we should be talking about talent. Well, people could talk about talent. No way. He has to be effective. You've got to show, your talent has to get you out of trouble. But we need to see quality week in, week out. And that's what Premier League players do. But if you were the 22, 23 and you'd have a good team be for the team to develop you in Europe for 2 years before say, well, be a top player, there's a problem straight away. And that's why everyone, your age is so, because if you are 15 years, 13, 12. So they never connect. Youth systems, I need to understand certain triggers and when to get involved and when not to get involved. And there's times I'm here, even some of the Premier League matches, I remember some good teams in India. Players be on the movement will crowd be quite be movie. But people don't really understand it. Players in that episode, they always want to get on the ball. But there's sometimes where I could come out of the shape and that's the space and not really more my budget because it's more effective. But it comes back to coaching. It is Drew Premier League na say yes coach be into me and share the players in the manager. I mean at the highest level you never want to football. At the highest level is more of managing the players. Then
coaches because I want to believe they might have gone through all these. Then Tina a 2-in-1 coaches and players. Then Tina there be amagwa mo here the coffee coach omupo because they learned all these at the grassroots level.
It's a mistake in the bar straight away. No, we all know. Because we expect to say, it was said to say the Okasi be a Maguire own goal. We expect say he's a Maguire own goal, and the reasons are because of how he's been brought up and he's done it week in week out. But by all means, we any mistake will be bad, and a mistake is so I'm going back. But all I'm saying is say if say Mrofona had the talents that we have. I'm fair player in Africa. I tell you, because some of the talents that I see,
but the intimate and coach you to bring the best out of them, and you insist on yet so much of resource-based issue.
It's the detail of our coaching. Players understand exactly what they need to do.
The coaches no bar outside no
which is a good thing, but also as well. I don't know why idea coaches never outside so much. Where we could bring coaches from there, coach educators from there to come and help. Listen, seminars near there. It could really help the coaches. Some of the training sessions that they could learn, they could ask questions. Because one of the things I'm going to say, training sessions now, we are not coaching them because of 5-10 minutes. But be an problem be.
No question.
Be an acrobi until the cast 1 year. But why do you the coffee? Oba, that's a match in 1 year. What you catch say. But still no on tears here. But one testing who say on taste asem nase. And the boo also cry sometimes who be saying okay, we BBC or her. Now didn't be our yes, sir. And no by no giving you the reason as coaches you even learn to understand and also think thought processes. It is so important say your structure of how we coach these players has to change.
Okay.
And this is why your coaching you're taking so much of our quality on players on player on him is being coached out of him. It's all your passing. And players coaches are coaching the players their way rather than guiding them to become top players. And that's a problem.
Basa Anthony wajai kakra.
And that's being coached out of him because like I said, at the highest level you have to be effective.
Okay.
And you use the skill when you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Don't overuse it and disrespect certain players.
Okay.
You use it when you're in trouble.
They go cruise what than you can you not watch some kind of watching in you said disrespect. I mean you want to disrespect. If questions come up, but here very league because we are moving on. But for shall say now we will come back to him now. Yeah, Baby. But what question and I comment be a bit to me.
Oh, my enjoying.
May not there more and say I don't know, could you see be a dear change bisa. Oh, so when you ma teta, when you ma teta more and not to compare.
So that track record of developing players in Omoma found some Bebo Premier League, you know. Bet me I'm a Omoma found some under your title league.
Well, there's about 120 players that me train you as we speak.
CCA.
Yes. Currently under you.
Yeah. And
Muda Premier League.
Yeah. Is it quite me ko Europe ni sa ne manina.
Na no me frɛ kwakuza kwakuna. Me hia oni ade o se me wo Spain. Me hwɛ okay match no. Em say there's a Ghanaian.
Yeah, na me hwɛ Maria ne Real Madrid.
Because there's a Ghanaian, there's a boy, you're one of your guys there.
Alvin Appiah. Yeah.
Alvin Appiah. But so you Dutch and
Dutch and English. Or England national team.
Okay.
But I mean, never mind Ghana phone to it.
Okay.
Ghana
okay.
England.
Today no or no man the idea bro. No new.
Among your players, maybe I'm bottom teams.
Oh,
I think we know about in Edin Ketia.
Rufo Zaha, Mikel Antonio, Axel Tuanzebe. Off on top of my head, I mean, I can give you the list.
Now Tuanzebe is away.
Stoke on loan.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And you
Ten Hag Bayern or Pryor.
Pryor.
Yeah.
That's all Pamono.
Reece James.
Reece James.
Yes.
I'll
try coming in the agent neighbor. I'm in the buy.
Okay.
From neighbor, but I'll try to be a Monday and never.
Okay.
You can speak to him. Yeah.
Because James, they send on the I'm so top of Ubiakra.
When
some may have be a never Ghana.
Okay, Reece.
Antonio. Yeah.
Antonio was Jamaican background.
Yes.
Reece then. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Antonio is now playing for the Jamaican national team.
Yeah.
Not for England, but I'm so
I'm friend twice, but one movie that England.
Yeah. When they get to the senior team, they are not no more.
Oh no.
Process not the same.
Okay, so I mean it depends on player cried in the mouth. Sometimes teams not a throw. If you want them so I parents never throw depending on my age, you know. And if you want some agents and so never throw. So what they do is normally they say I'm throw for training session. Now I try to do an initial meeting to understand why they want to train. Because for instance, Arsenal striker, so me training in Ketia, it would be different to me training Mikel Antonio, even though they're both strikers. Until I would have to understand club philosophy and how they use them and where he really ends up. What I mean by that is I'm trying to say pattern there. Ricky Bejibo, not Ricky Diamawe, you know, when we first see Bidu Antonio, so what happens around him. So I work on all these pictures for him to understand, so this is the triggers for him to move. In and around the 18-yard box, you know, I had him now end up, what are your chances? It is your training session anymore. Now, and some pictures in that one money are shown exactly what would happen. Until then we start to work on the technique of that area. And until what you born on 18-yard boxer, is it curled? Is it wrap your foot around there? And I say, is it laces? Yeah, work on the impact.
Tell me the laces.
Set laces near nice and I wrapping your foot around the ball. You be our 9 chimon and some of the things and where you're meant to place the ball. It's a lot of detail. Into me, so take all these cameras around it for him to understand it.
All the cameras called.
Oh yeah. Cameras are all set around.
Nah, they. We didn't answer your phone in your I don't think it's fair to you.
No.
What was that the camera said difference?
No, was it? And only one-on-one sessions na me no.
What's the back?
No, unze obusame in regards to the one-on-one sessions na me no. It's just the player detail, one player and the detail. So there be a me who order, the angles around it to understand what technique we'll use. But the dynamic kind of earlier was team work, and working on units.
But the team might also need the camera.
So I mean, if like I said, no, I mean, coach team there, okay, so go for camera, and I say, because like I said, no, say video no crowd why because no one say. So I'm not talking about having videos and understand. I'm talking about the detail of coaches. So
Frewa, you train them,
yes,
for a while. So why would a Premier League club, for instance, call you to train a player? And I say, at that stage now we'll develop, because They also have their coaches, Anna.
Yes, we were players from here, under 16s, under 18s, under 23s, and first team players. And it all depends. And it comes back to the report I do get. It depends on what they need to work on. And I may design the sessions around what they need to work on. Will be there short term, maybe there long term. And most of the time, where I'm really good at from the under 18s to the under 23, the transition of becoming the first team player is where they really have that problem. Because like I said, under 16 to under 18, you're a talent. But from 18 to 23, you're no more a talent. And that's where you got to be effective. So understanding your positions and making sure, okay, this is what the club needs me to do. And this is what, the effectiveness of me being on the pitch and me fitting in the philosophy that the manager wants me to play.
Okay. When I answer, Uncle.
Well explained.
Kwakusu is a student too.
Oh, sir.
So a Kings for.
Oh, okay.
I'm be a warrior, bro.
Oh, fine. Oh, quite a check a crown.
Watch it. We just out of Kwakusu.
Okay, that's fine.
What your final people and dear Chian or
the brain in a choir.
Can you be managing?
So, yeah. So, I think we are having.
I just had an offer and all the champs.
Oh, okay.
So it was an offer. I have no
people are enjoying it.
Oh, yes.
No lie. And I could talk platform is he's really educating and
now about football professors because it's of course school.
But Anna,
legend. School.
You son of my winning and Anna a day for free.
On say baby your free ban.
Yeah.
A knowledge.
Yeah.
What you can offer. It's not about so big could you be 19 or be nice say any deb. So I could want me vast antenna. Then I bet me or a Ghanaian. Kokuno ni bobo pa. And the man could pay Fulham. Fulham realized the talent also add a bit of education. Today they don't care where he comes from. Why in British new? Even though overcroom ha free baby nebo. So what I say because omu say obibia obetimi dia bomb society no. They never care where he comes from.
They will tap you.
So here onye and that's what goes on. And today a lot of players are ono mpekasa me kedia me back am list scrum.
Ombeso be blow ni home.
Ombeso be kasa kesi.
Ghanaian team be atimi are contacted for a bit of
yeah, very good point. Very good question.
David.
You didn't see that?
No. I mean, what I do is say, coach teams need one me I like to give back because Sabio me call London on that school I me call a PE teacher no one a farm me who say manageable who bo am me ko Fulham and say me ko Reading. And you know, then I always like to give back to community now because it's really it's not about money. It's important to always give back.
And credit the internet. We go concession back go buy easy.
I identify some players.
Maybe I can face a new agency.
No, any agency. But Mr. Tommy can say very good players.
Animal can offer. Says the players.
The Onyama way no. So picky players. No, even in Kotoko, I can mention a Kotoko player that obey here. So individual workout and that stuff will be improve the game. Because that player is a good player. I'm on for Penopa, but the end product, especially in terms of goal scoring, what you I'm expecting to say Kobe add goals to the game, no. And you know, almost try to play him on so many positions. Now, as they are forced to push him out of more dangerous areas now, it goes to Bano. That player is what okay. But Kotoko player na me, you know, is a player that I like so much.
Okay, say Onya.
That
if I got the coach point now, also depends on the partner
and the philosophy.
The the Ghazali person obono. And no na.
Ghazali they are thinking around. I'm born at number 8. I'm born at number 10. I'm born sometime I am as an auxiliary striker. I'm born as a winger. And he's not giving them the omopeno. But that player who knows all a prospect, I will not say, this player.
I'll say at that point, no talent in here,
You see,
when you do 20, who when you Bukayo Saka, I said, oh, they're talent.
Maybe
I think let me take captain and say.
You see the point. But maybe I go when you such a nibia.
It comes back to player and being honest with himself. So as coaches now, it gets to a point where you feel so, you know what, if a partner your best position, you know, player and also kind of best position share that's where you can develop him. And he said, what's it coordinator how the chances are player and possibly not knowing him the best position, and I say yeah, even the team no in him the best position, and I say team knew him from his youth days, and how I know why I'm not in the bar. It comes
back from his youth days.
Not necessarily, but it's important to have as much as you can. Said ya beya metwasi me hu ne be a baby a friends will go across and say baby a wo no cry stress ni power ye. Intino say sometimes because we the chance in the cry and be more on there. Intino it's so important to understand. Oh me nedi
stop mo kaka.
So the mechanism say to understand the player no. I mean by all means kotokoto and that's what we move in the youth team. They need to go back
now
and
understand.
They need to understand baby and why they bought him, and that's where you get the best out of the player. And near man no on the club needs man go find a buy.
Smart who can listen, coaching at the grassroots level a big problem. At that level no, most of them now say no money jehuna or more air.
Yeah.
Tamanebo coaching your coaches you know they were not certificate or license coaches. Yeah, but and I say
quality coach you wanna quality coach you.
Nanibo mo team be be
invoice.
I played both Akobam to changing
onimo.
You know simple. Who send this here? I can't say na me and cash cow. No, me na. Okoto me no. Okoto me.
Go busa ni. But you busa question.
So, he saw it to do now.
But don't yes,
but just remember in regards to say coaches no more coach level in now. Omabo game ne da. It be there passion into on person your coach, which is a good thing, which is a great thing. Because obi any GBB who no add no question is best. Regarding certification, listen, me UEFA A, no UEFA B 8 years ago. I feel na me UEFA A now. But I've worked at clubs as we speak. Me attached to Luton Town, or more championship, or that third or fourth, or maybe Premier League, you know. But certification you're good, but certification not only shows you ways of coaching, but it doesn't show you how to coach. How to get the best out of your players, and it shows you. Or be one ma play beokrana unkasano. Or you guide them. Players who on so I just say Zakito Etimia idea. I was say Papa Patrick Harry Timia. Does that make sense?
Danger man.
It's in the same and say me de adiana ma ebia ye training session ni mu na no bia me pese bia ye drag back born da hold on knife so na bia obesna fa say akola bi o hu say Zakito na na Zakito Etimia dia miss me about as coach no ye pe munza wanyini wo dey say wo Etimia so Etimia. It comes back to the types of coaching and how we discover and we guide the players to understand say okay Zakito dey who say obi ya no Etimia obi won so I just say omo ye na no you no kwesi nchen no watch into you need to understand
the coaching is more of baby chain.
Having a certificate gives you ways of coaching, different types and ways of coaching, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how I was say coach you players.
So obi di dramani and he me quite my first time no I'm very serious man. He saw me as attacking from the left side. And in the first time did coach him. Then he saw say no, I can play in Mefford. As I make it, did the man he's your friend, just call him. I talk because I was as good as any other player. The Mushaman will give you and he has to change me from who I was how person me bomb in time biano most of no work personally teaching you how to guiding you or anything and you know he's a teacher but ebi o omo de
program be already so na ko see say radio be so e go see say I'm the program be o samwa e go see say Dabi o the any program be first our radio be so e go see say e go see say
na man dem nim dia football no I've played it practical and I understand that yes practical you know journalism say go to ball me ball bele na friend this year
enti mama yenye league ne kakra na yem na ne mewi okwakuo na baba sha say man ni wa say ngomo ni buzano
kuchi ana all converting some players from one position to the other. You saw his qualities Sabia where a defender probably you realize that you can play more or better as a midfielder and now moving from defensive area not to a midfield area. Why is that and what goes into side decision is let me convert this type of a player from one position to the other.
Yeah, me and personally that, but what I did was okay. I said village about West Ham. No, Nanka Antonio Monaco right back. So okay, once Antonio started as a wing back, village by and he thought say he's so powerful. Bit Mama right back, and to be honest, me and Antonio discussing it, he wasn't so happy with it. So what I did was I had to do recommendations on where he could play better rather than right back because mentally he's not there to defend. He didn't buy into it on Peso be defender crap. So rather than using him as a wing back Abiluson, as a right back Abiluson, I suggested Sibia Omofanimbo as a striker, and I mean now he's doing so well. Okay. So personally, because the main coach, the whole team itself, I mean team coach change player not. But what I can do is I can only add value to player, not to obviously explain to coaches no more club. No say I feel say obey me about I try him there. Until subsequently, no say the sessions that we do, and I'm just making sure some around these sessions as well. As we speak, there's this boy Armstrong Okaflex or West Ham, or a striker, but for me he's a winger. Until I spoke to West Ham and I told him, and now we're developing him as a winger. Okay. Until that I can say, sir. Okay.
Mami kind message in the end so Kinvesa a statement be media reports of Alaji Gruza's comments on Ibrahim Tanko. Be someone who I'm Alaji Nkame bia. Obi say Alaji aka Tanko so say omo project omo tape mra. Na Alaji Nkame bia say Ibrahim Tanko is ungrateful. And very nice statement. Yeah. Obri. Say Kinvesa is also getting worried. Say omo enye Tanko di encroforce omunyom. But Obri was also responding to media reports. What TBC say Alaji say. But Kinvesa say mamin tum enumi ense say we wish to categorically state that this story is false, misleading, and entirely contrary to Alaji Gruza's religious, moral, and professional principles. We would like to make it clear that our president has not given any interview or made any statements on the matter to any media outlet. We believe that the misinformation is intended to cause division and unrest, and we urge the public to disregard it. So we also want to state that we give, and they mention the name of the radio station, the media house responsible for publishing the false story, 24 hours to issue an apology or retract the story. Failure to do so will result in us seeking legal advice on the matter. Kinvesa FC has a deep appreciation for Ibrahim Tanko's contribution to the club, and Alaji Gruza remains forever grateful to him and all other former players who have worked to promote the club's goals. Signed by the communications department of Kinvesa. Asemno nwanwa kakra. Ana Alaji say obian kan asem na nkofo na akotena ase na. And the man can say Fawaz I send the message be on Zakito. So Zakito is now confirming my stance that I said he never played for our coach. He was a French player at Go First, Babies, and then Akoba. Okay.
French. Now I'm going to for us in ya. Sunday we are for us.
Just are you referring to Richmond Lamptey?
I think that
okay, obviously why is Yasia not mentioning the name? I think or not say Richmond Lamptey.
I think that person.
No, I'm for us. Now I'm going to share ni train. I'm going to say unya for us. I said the message to say when you working face a catcher no. Na me who's Akito was at face and for us.
Actually, that was Akito.
No. Me no Denjima.
Denjima.
And you know, I catch on catcher for us. You should remember who I was at Kingfisher.
Okay. Babo yam pick kakra kana me
French player.
Me French.
So Babo yam
back to the Premier League, you know. Say Enrabrikum de Canada. That was a bad game for Kotoko.
It's also like the youth.
And second afternoon, but for the other relatives, like I get my West because of the kind of boss are Omodoko Kotoko. So now
you load, that's where the loading kicks in. If you're running towards the player to jump on, is where the loading kicks in. Okay. And I make I said the ball, no, watch your flights in area. The ball is not going to change direction. I want to keep and I just say drop off and load. I mean, by the time we become a born background and these are basics.
And those battle.
I know a lot of these headed goals this season.
Team, that's where the talent should end.
The talent be.
No, because that's where you start to really compete.
Okay.
You understand? You're under 17s, you're under 18s, you're under 19s, and we try to win it. Because at that point, you should be in a competition, and also you should be in a state of mind that competition-wise, you want to win. That's what I say. It's from the 15 to 17 year foundation developmental stage, but 18 hit a talent is no more enough, and that's where you become effective. It's is where once we be on more 18 or 19 we're making a Premier League debut in the Sunday man because they really feel so he's ready. It's a stage of coaching really important. We need to understand and say okay we're the under 5 to under 7 even the football size the crana they working on the technique important. In the UK so only 14 size 5 size 4. From the ages of
the size of the pitch
football.
Okay.
It's your size 5, your size 4. It's from the ages of 5 to the ages of 11 and it's number size 3 because a lighter is smaller and they can work on their technique. And it's these small details they're really important. And I said so the detail of our coaching has to change. And this is not going to cost us anything. Rather than see a door to learn, I'd rather send the coach educators to help our youth.
Wait to me, Aboyama, the coach educators Abagana.
Easily.
Maybe to make you.
Yes, well, by all means, when him said it's made move 5. We have to travel them throughout the whole regions of Ghana, 10 regions of Ghana. Yes, it's Kumasi, 1 week coaching seminars, coaching sessions. Sometimes what they tend to do is say, a really good coaching session. We are not coaches never questions. We are not a bad coaching session. No, I recognizing who say, okay, we learn from each other. And that's the only way we're gonna learn. It is here the everyone's in Nipa 5 there. For me, it's not the best practice. But in Nipa 5 moon free hobaha. 1 week in Kumasi, 1 week in Tamale, 1 week in Accra, 1 week in Ho. It goes a long way.
At the end of Pep Guardiola, yeah, dear chain coaches here, and I say, no, they are there in the place. On the Teta, more than unbelievable, no me, no show be a Teta and Pep Guardiola.
So, Ubusa, Thomas,
like to one question, huh?
So, Ubusa party said, or Atletico Madrid, no bars, no, Obakacho said, near my bars, no, what's Siano. No names are no boom. Even though son Obama Diego Simeone, oh yeah, he's made that comment before where so what I'm saying is regarding Pep, he had the respect, and someone that has the respect, you're bound to respect him, and that's what he brought to Man City. But Obaya, he changed the whole face of English football as well. Since Arsene Wenger started, and also by I'm more buy into it. So what I'm saying is, so by even the Man City youth team, from the ages of under 9s throughout, they play the same way. Keep playing. Don't worry about it. Keep playing. Well, they're making mistakes, but keep playing. They encourage them to play. Regarding Pep, Obama first team levels and so or a lot of repetition. Until said the detail of his coaching is really important to him. Even the body shape of player receiving the ball from right back a crown. If the angle is not right, he stops it and he goes and coach it. Even at the highest level, into the detail of what he gives to his players, is really important. And even when they're playing out, the structure of how they're playing is really important. The wing backs, you don't get involved until it gets to a certain area and someone get involved. The moment you start to get involved, that's a any shape now you're off. So you need to understand when to get involved and when not to get involved. And with that, comes with trust. My main train, I read the ball on the bedroom. I say train, I read the beba. Oh, pro wako. Me say train on the beba. Password the beba because Harry has been coached to bring and he's been guided to bring that ball to you and to train until so on Africa. And that's the detail of what he does.
The Brazil I am an lawyer. Oh, only prayer England as I'm
a bit about
Coach Bacho, I'm on for say, Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola on system this season. Where you see Jones when City is defending.
Inverted fullback.
John Stones American defenders. A typical example on the Bayern Munich. When we saw Mukutabo now on not commit for Doko Jibona pass. Same as Alexander Zinchenko Arsenal. We say Emra Arsenal Kutabo.
Yeah.
You go back into the midfield, no coach. But when they're defending, he come back. The same one.
Similar. Also, we have many in our trades. Zinchenko ne John Stones. John Stones no before so about Premier League no before so about Everton no Sheffield, one of the teams Murphy, but he was a very good passer of the ball. So from youth level we knew him how good he was on the ball. So we have our traits. Zinchenko is a good passer of the ball as well. And as coaches, and what you do and say, okay, so what's our strength of a player? I don't know keeping when we're attacking. It's rather than so be a midfielder or no rather than more no message man pushy other midfielders to have a better stance up front, and that's what he did. And I think that is really tactical brilliance to try and get the best out of one player.
Coach, is it because DM for Nyoma and with me tacky and
not necessarily
Rodri?
No, Unza says more attack here and on Babishim defend or defended there or not Babishim into by all means no more defending will be shamed the on your name midfielder and will defend it. Yes, and midfielders now good defenders of the ball. But then maybe their passing range and their ability to pass near better than their midfielders. And sometimes a tactical in a me, I don't know why he did it, but a tactical in a way say rather than say be a Bema Rodri pass now, rather say Rodri be pushy up, more midfielders now. I drop in Bema John Stones and you have the free role to be able to attack them as much as possible.
I think coaching is about detailing.
Yes.
So, Eric, I was Adili, Erica, there's a Alajidede, Muredi New. Eric said, Eric was told that Eric Carella because the first time he was there. Yeah, and his surname no me. Alagidede.
That's how they pronounce the name.
Alagidede.
Also in Ghana, you see U12 kids playing with size 5 football on the same football pitch that adults play on. Everything about our game is wrong because the fundamentals are simply not available. Our concentration is rather on the black stars instead of development. Until we change the pyramid and develop the base, this is how our game will continue to struggle. Talent alone is not enough. You agree with him?
100%. Let me hear under 13's game. I will ditch him so park and sooner. Ditch him so park we pull the city no. Then collide them. And I collab a ball fast so she go no money ball. It's not realistic.
And park here.
Yeah.
No balls. If you are more bombs for intelligence.
No.
No, you say me boy keep intimate.
No, so what I'm saying is that if the goals are smaller, that's what she go now. So you're working on is thinking of the player even striking the ball and the keeper no cry now. Psychologically now, what happens to him? When he's only good enough, it's a bit more crumb and a ball. But he been so no.
When I said I'm say junior one krumo yes I need
poor case yeah
more cancer
them the other mark under 13 them na you cast when you good
no I can't say me cram ko ball near some nya me cash cow
yeah me coach
I'm in cash cow
under 13 wow doing some munya ball be am shooting for pool the chance of so be very high
but your coach kese bi okrumo Ye feno William Afuakwa. Obo pa. On ma Afuakwa.
Na huno program iso da. Kim face on.
Coach.
Oye coach woni kase
na minim de ntia coach ba go say osua de pa na open number.
Oh, open number.
Okay. So go be number watch na.
Yemva hwe man.
Hey.
Bro, ha obekire ball terms ni ade aba.
No, certain
number na ide. No. Yemfa number bi ama.
It's only good sir.
Masa unya number bia wa add voice we ain't voice no ye mva number bia ma
Covid brother
say
the chance we have your
say voice or the other dem say it voice but mo my
okazi
I don't know Mr. No ya ma there why I got to Mumbai I we be answer na enti yedi our time should be up yedi besia captain remember na kokun round up and we have really been educated. There are a lot of messages been more say men ready, but people have really enjoyed. Also there ba kwa me say a lot of people seem to have an idea about Nkoma Yedi.
Yeah,
but I can't who starts the implementation, where it should start from. Yeah, say we kwama some solutions. Let's get people to go around and help our coaches.
Yes.
I have for the year, the Professor Yo Mane Utiaka and Jamodiano, but clearly, no. And near Masters.
Modern Yaba.
That's it.
So Jambasino.
When and go for we more. Kwakuni Krum for no, said almost football. No. A different.
Almost you and
and it's big business, so they don't joke with it.
Yeah.
Omo bibia business. Ade omo ye bia no. Omo making sure say much attention is paid to it. They get professionals to execute duties.
That's true.
Enti Dina obi rich now. Who's a match na grow mu. Say last day oh. Say den Krum hapa nanka. Ateta ne Pep Guardiola DSC ni o maje 4 me kwaje 5 me be say also we here in am Champions League kan yan say dem ni nko dada ba onyawa no emia
I think sir
giving the land more playing time may be backed by good intentions, but it is rather exposing him and may rather affect his national team's place. He's been offering Kotoko Post recently. Ironically, Golden City Park is the venue where the FA was alleged to have stolen ownership of a borehole. Pitiful sight. Fired. Fred has repeatedly said, Enyesike Biara. Please ask him, what does that phrase means exactly? Enyesike Biara.
What I mean is
go.
Because we said now affecting the quality of our league, and you can imagine say if the quality of our league was really good I mean we know how much money about it. He said he was spending £50,000 to bring these guys in to help your coaches for 1 year. I mean, it's no money.
So you are doing the cost-benefit analysis, investment, which will eventually yield some results. Okay. All right. Orosu don't call. The message is the last one I read. I see Nyesika Biano. Oh no, on Tiasi because Yesika. Captain,
I agree with Freddie. Oh, the workers in Yesika. If you are talking about young Effie and Sika, even FIFA,
been trying. But the FA is making efforts. But the moon is say the efforts are not enough.
So are they doing the right things?
So, bonus sakakra.
So, what the patch of my main career? You do more. You but some and say the coaches be quiet. Or maybe about 10 or something. Let's say $1,000 a ticket for them.
I no go for name say and I need to. If you know my free. Go grant me na dey free. Kan kono so omo de omo meboaye omo
free the code you free for me.
No, say free no be na invite o. There are a lot of partnership programs. But I
no cry no mo
cry. Okay, be say di jaw na wa odi nipa ba wa mo amo de mo mfa ne say mo kwa akobua gbogbo ukrum o man to ti now take it to nyom den take it to it den
I mean like figure na Fredika you're talking about something like $50,000 and as a country pounds and as a country say if you near break person you develop your football today see here and maybe you
the other side.
No, the government comes in.
A year.
A year.
No, so maybe I can be better because you're programming a lot of big men are listening. They can maybe are the politicians, maybe are the football people. Everything actually. I know
you can stress.
What is that one?
Yeah, so I'm your mama yenche.
Who's
the way to say no? Say me say no. Me never cast on chain. Who say what you not cast on chain? But yeah, can't get Ghana for you.
Me banner say, I meet my running coaching seminars for free. Me many problem.
But what about the other people?
And no dear say until some non because and me but by all means, no one charges so much as they would.
And no one can say I in this car. They say YMF. Yes, we
have to do.
Kwagu took me to few places. Yeah, on my journey on Warbo, say, Yamaze Kosiada no Pane and no. And there are pictures around the UK. Ufa Babia Park Dow. And collect park in Crabini.
Coaching seminars no.
But pictures square how.
Oh, but this one my nice astroturfs ni be near.
I will areas.
And the
baby abu to
crowd. I don't abandon be jatum.
No, cities for 1 hour.
Me no nyadwen say Yeniska because say the amount of money you bet me spend on one tournament.
Politicians go with
down cost. And invest in areas like
Mama ye chewa asem no. Obi anye nti ense we mu.
Oh, legend. So one can say so one can see Niska.
We aka say the can ye be ni adwo number. Na from master of.
Niska no kofa na bro for iba na so mate say you could me spend be $50 million in one na 2 weeks ni asa be fia. Obeka say mo na mo Niska no. Enti ye mo monti as ye say sika na ye obi.
Right. Oh, find the right things.
Okay. Fred ye that's it. Kwaku. I say one na say you know na near din pa o. Because say ko stadium bi na microphone say baby enam no. Was it at the Brighton Stadium?
Olympic Stadium.
Olympic Stadium. I'm say no. Say Kwaku no mpake ka no wansem nanti o. Say also ura VVIP ho e kire ho. Baby a players na de tinanye. Ba brofu no ka anya sa no ka no ho. Omo mienu. O shi o madam. Omo de ni bi. Na me ti o. Ay. Then go for we ye ko bi no mo ko ba kwan ba no bi kom. Hey. Me the name go na me be ho wo mie na ntenko. O so ya be kom. Ay, jai.
No. But Kwaku develop so well, honestly. So when you say me na the kind of knowledge and what of you are all selling out, you only give credit to the good Lord. Say what impacted this knowledge in him. I think say like no Okano. Misoto, let's continue to engage him. Now, if you like if you are talking to the colleagues out there for them to be helping us in such areas he can start talking to them. Now going forward and cost to be as a day because I'm not sure when you breaking chest, but I may busa question say to parking also by parking you know pitch on telephone it costs how much?
Yeah.
Breakum pitch no. Telephone. Now I was asking that question.
But we had the youth levels in there.
Players are doing well in the EPL and
really, well, in the EPL, you were Partey, you were Jordan Ayew, you were Jeffrey Schlott. Dede Ayew. I mean, Dede doesn't really start at the moment. Amate, Edin Ketia.
Now,
Semenyo, Edin Ketia, player yet. Tariq Lamptey doing really well.
Edin Ketia, is he coming soon? From your engagement?
You see, there's a minimum.
Okay.
I mean, World Cup, and hopefully, Nanke tries here to be encouraging them. I'm sure, hopefully, at some point, Obeba.
Okay. Tomuya, do they really trace their roots here? Oh
yeah.
Because so go for
no. I mean, Ghana and they ask about Ghana most of the time. So no more training sessions. I say, I can't manage your day, but I I mean, especially Tariq Lamptey say, none of the fact so Bojamano. the Biano Busau's animal say, oh, yeah, dear, manager for Antonio.
Yeah.
Now what your manager wants to go.
Okay. But for today, yes, we have done for this wonderful.
One of the best shows in recent years now.
Okay.
Engaging more.
Only how be over no
Tuesday, Masaba.
Okay. Ancestors watch you all the way from Samra Boy. Was say special greetings to you.
Whichever way.
And I have ascended the new GFA coaching convention. License A 141 days, 12,000 cedis. Scan Jomo. But say you pay for those coaching badges in UK.
Yes, Obu are attached to the club. A club need to.
Okay.
And Obu also a PFA. Oh yeah, why a professional football player that Momodi are not a half of the payment as a normal person.
You see, you see.
Obu also if you not so person, yeah. Yeah.
But where the job be a flat.
Refresher costs 7 days 4,000. License A, no license B 3,025 and all that. Chavakwa we na say and no say I has cano as my be brain to me.
The boarding and a band is hano. People are not able to enroll.
But Sikadia I can show you some Jiska.
Oh yes, someone Jiska, but say affordability. Because
there be they believe that you should be.
Maybe I can find a canopy or by himself he cannot pay.
He cannot pay. I've got a shirt in a bet or a bono. Any shoe or she or DJ Aquaco Cheska.
What I need people to understand is that apart from certification, the detail of coaching is important. So I'm not, let's forget certification, so we'll be quite certificate and so on. But so we know the detail of how we're so coaching the players, no, and they said there was a quite be of us to get the best out of the players, no more now. When to me and yeah, that's not coaching.
Okay. Well, we had that here, the best year. Thank you very much. There were lots of messages. Oh, Sammy, and we was saying, Mammy, he was saying, was it good education, but where the man coming from is a problem. There's no better coaches. From you guys, the best coaches of England are from either Spain and the likes. My name say what I say. I said that coach Papa for no more England. Papa some say the how captain. Oh here so far he's in the top 4.
Yeah, I mean the chances also be coaching national team are really high.
Yes, how much
yeah, top coach. Maybe because attachment be a Bournemouth. He's a really good guy.
Yes. Yeah. But where are the others? Some Allardyce now.
No, the Premier League.
Top,
I'm talking about the youth
level. Okay. Yeah, they see DJ Shabati. Thank you, everybody. Are you Tupac? Yeah. Last week the whole business. So, Same Bright Messiah, Baba is Sacramentino niya. None ne obrekum no. I say Mr. Ansambo no buga kakra. Hey, John Ansa. Yes, how and the kike can idea see. Thank you everybody. We are back